accompanied by other officers who will introduce themselves.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of Parliament. And also good morning, MAZABUKA Municipal Council. My name is Martin Muni. I'm the Assistant Director, Southern Province.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. My name is Lovinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you so much. Ministry of Finance.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Morning, TC and the team. My name is Mlenga Chama, coming from Office of Accountant General. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, MAZABUKA. My name is Chuya Davis, Assistant Director, Local Authorities Department at Ministry of Finance. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Permanent witness from the Ministry of Local Government.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to you and your committee members. MAZABUKA Municipal Council, you're welcome. I'm Kazinga Kennedy from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee, and good morning, MAZABUKA Municipal Council. My name is Joyce Kuransa from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our permanent witness from the Local Government Service Commission.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee. Good morning, MAZABUKA. My name is Mulumbenj Kasanka from the Local Government Service Commission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I now wish to invite the honorable members of the committee, starting with the MP for Usakile.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to you. Morning, honorable members. Good morning, our permanent witnesses, TC and your team from MAZABUKA. Morning, Kalobo Pavyuma, to the good people of Usakile constituency, Kitwe in the Copper Belt.
The honorable member of Parliament for Kaumbwe.
Morning, Chair. Good morning, permanent witness.
Is your mic on?
Good morning, MAZABUKA.
Kindly use the microphone for your neighbor. It's also off.
I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke district of the Eastern Province. You're most welcome. Thank you.
The honorable MP for Sia.
Good morning. Good morning. MAZABUKA Municipal Council. Good morning. Morning. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, a member of this committee. Chair, thank you.
Thank you so much. The honorable MP for Mangango.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good morning to you. Morning, fellow honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, MAZABUKA Municipal Council. Morning, our viewers and the listeners out there. I'm Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango. Chair, I must confirm that today I'm also wearing my uniform. May the ministry extend the wearing of uniforms to everyone out there. I think the advertising and the marketing of wearing of uniform on a uniform day was not extensive, which we are now doing, some of us today. So we are hoping that next year all of us we shall wear uniforms, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stand, let's see your uniform. Kindly stand.
Chair.
I didn't say you take off your jacket. Be improperly dressed. Put on your jacket. Thank you so much.
Chair.
Indeed, you look great in your uniform. I wish to invite, we have one member who is following us online, the Honorable MP for Mitete. You can make introduction. The Honorable MP for Mitete, kindly unmute yourself and make introduction. You may have technical challenges. My name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I'm a Member of Parliament for Mandevu constituency of Lusaka district. We are privileged as Mandevu constituency to host the National Assembly in our constituency. So you are welcome to Mandef constituency, as well as the local government accounts committee, where I'm privileged to serve as deputy chairperson. I'm just waiting for secretariat to come in. We have a technical issue which must be attended to before we start our deliberations. So perhaps we give him, I think, 2 minutes to just join us. The microphone for Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
It's okay, because the light is on.
What about the next one? Just ensure that the next one is also working. Okay, thank you so much. Our secretariat is in. Kindly introduce yourself, secretariat.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. TC and your team, you're welcome. My name is Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Do we have our IT officer behind there? Okay, Town Clerk, on behalf of the committee, and indeed on my own behalf, now wish to invite you to make your submission of your memorandum.
Good morning once more, Chair. Thank you very much for having us. Allow us to make our submission, the memorandum, to the Parliamentary Committee on Accounts of the Local Authorities for the audit of MAZABUKA Municipal Council, cited on paragraph 107, and those appendices for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. Chair, I'll go straight to the cause of the query and the action taken and the remedial measures taken. With your permission, Chair.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm on page 3. On local taxes, cause of the query. Management wishes to submit that the under-collection in the local taxes was as a result of the ratepayers not honoring their bills despite reminders being issued to them. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that the discounts were offered to the ratepayers, where a 50% payment on the outstanding residential bill attracted a discount of 50%. We ran a promotion from the 1st of November to the 17th of January in 2025 for residential property owners, while for commercial property owners, we invited them to pay 75%, and the local authority wrote off a 25%, which ran from 7th January 2025 to 17th January 2025. See the table below. Chair, as a result of the promotion, there was an increase in the collections in November and December, unlike August and September 2024, before we did the promotion to collect the rates. You will see the evidence attached in Appendix 1, where we have receipts by revenue type, summary report for your reference. Remedial measure. Management wishes to submit that the following measures have been put in place. We are going to have timely billing. We'll be sending bulk SMSs as reminders, also using the task force to enhance the revenue collection. Additionally, Chair, the local authority has now automated the revenue collection through the use of the newly acquired USSD code to enable the taxpayers be paying electronically using their phones. Number 2, the query on fees and charges. Cause of query. Management wishes to submit that
The under-collection on fees and charges was as a result of the slow response on the sale of plots from the public, where we had anticipated to collect more. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that the local authority came up with a payment plan on the sale of plots, where a client would be encouraged to pay a down payment of 40% and the balance be settled in 12 monthly installments. In addition to the payment plan, a vigorous marketing strategy was done, which resulted in revenue amounting to 4.3 million, 4,354,925 being collected as at 15th January 2025. Additionally, the local authority advertised to corporate organizations such as ZESCO and NAPSA, and we are in discussions with Zambia Sugar, who have declared their intention to purchase 300 plots from the same plots that were not being sold from MAZABUKA estates. This will result in more revenue to the local authority once this arrangement is finalized. Chair, I have attached on my report in Appendix 2 and 3 a copy of the receipts by revenue types and also correspondence to Zambia Sugar. Remedial measure. Management will continue to intensify revenue collection through the updating of the database and also using the task force to follow up. On levies, cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the query on under collection on levies was as a result of the ban on livestock movement during the time of anthrax in the province. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that after the ban was lifted, the local authority started collecting the levies but could not manage to collect the entire budgeted amount. Remedial measures taken. Management will continue to intensify on revenue collection through the updating of the database and the use of the task force to follow up on collections. Number 4, license, permits, commercial ventures and other receipts. The cause of the query. Management wishes to submit that the over-collection in licenses and permits was due to the opening of new businesses within that year. The amount showing on commercial ventures is the operating profit made at the end of the year, while the other receipts were as a result of support that we received from other cooperating stakeholders in the district, like GIZ, Zambia Sugar and ECZ, among others. These were funding various programs undertaken by the council. Action taken on the matter of over-collection. Management wishes to submit that the 2025 budget has been updated to accommodate the new businesses being opened in the district. Excuse me. Remedial measures taken. Management will continue to intensify on revenue collection, the updated database. On number 5, transition fund, cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the overfunding under the Local Government Equalization Fund was as a result of the support that was received from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development in January and February 2023, which was used to cushion staff-related costs. Chair, the word there is cushion, not caution. Correction. Apologies for that. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that the local authority utilized and accounted for the funds in line with the ministerial guidelines. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority will continue to engage the ministry for more funding when faced with similar challenges in future. The query on other grants. Cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the underperformance in the other grants was as a result of the local authorities not receiving the budgeted land development fund from the Ministry of Lands to assist in the opening up of roads in the newly acquired Mazabuka estates. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that follow-ups were being made with the Ministry of Lands for possible funding. Remedial measures taken. Management will continue to engage the Ministry for possible funding. Chair, on the next segment, it is still a review of the performance against the set targets, whereas we're explaining now in the variances in percentages. With your indulgence, I'll continue to read. It is the same information, but the variance is in percentage.
You can go to the next query.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the next query is on page 11. Deliverables, targets, stroke outputs not achieved. So, Chair, I'll go straight to page 12. Our submissions, which is the management response on the targets and the deliverables that were not achieved. On council meetings held, cause of the query.
That is page 13, not 12.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm on page 13. Apologies. On council meetings held, management wishes to submit that the query was as a result of the information on meetings not being available at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authorities held 4 council meetings in the year 2023. Find attached the evidence on Appendix 4. On number of stakeholder meetings held, management wishes to submit that the query was a result of on stakeholders meetings not being availed to the auditors at the time of audit. Management wishes to submit on action taken that the local authority held 11 stakeholder meetings in the year 2023. Attached in Appendix 5 are the minutes of the stakeholder meetings. On public order and safety, training of firefighters, number of sensitizations held in the community. Management wishes to submit that this query was also as a result of sensitizations not being held at the time of audit. We wish to submit on action taken that the local authority conducted 80 sensitization activities by the fire officers through a weekly interactive program and also meetings held with various institutions within the district. On number of community patrols undertaken within the period, management wishes to submit that this query was as a result of information on community patrols undertaken not being available at the time of audit. Management wishes to submit that on action taken, the local authority undertook 50 using the council police who were working closely weekly to curb the street vending in the Central Business District, CBD.
We can go back to the cause of query so that you make an appropriate amendment to...
Cause of query?
Yes.
Management wishes to submit that the query was as a result of information on community patrols. Chair, can we add the word patrols there?
Thank you.
There is an community patrols not being available at the time of audit.
You can go to the next one.
Thank you, Chair.
The amendment accepted.
Thank you, Chair. On housing and community amenities, kilometers of feeder roads to be rehabilitated. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the query and wishes to submit that the query was as a result of the entire 60 kilometers not having been completed at the time of audit. Kilometers were done. Action taken, Chair. The 60 kilometers were rehabilitated with the following breakdown. 18 kilometers of the feeder roads were done under the local authority through CDF, and 42 kilometers were achieved under the Improved Rural Connectivity Project IRCP. See Appendix 6 for the evidence. On number of street lights maintained, Chair, management wishes to submit that the query was as a result of the street lights not being maintained at 100% as planned, because they were removed to be replaced with new ones by the contractor who was working on the T1 road. Action taken. The remainder of the 14 street lights were not maintained because they were removed and they were replaced with new lights by the contractor under the rehabilitation of the Chikankata turn-off to MAZABUKA Hospital. On integrated development plan, number of issues of plots issued. Chair, management wishes to submit that the cause of the query was due to slow response on the sale of plots from the public. Management wishes to submit, and as action taken, that we intensified the marketing of plots from local to national and even international, and we also formulated a plan on institutional engagement for bulk buying. More than 450 plots have since been sold as at 31st December 2024. The evidence is on Appendix 2. Number of properties mapped. Management wishes to acknowledge the query and submit that the query was as a result of properties not being mapped at the time of audit. Action taken. We wish to submit, Chair, that the local authority has since mapped 10,897 properties as at 31st October 2024. Attached to my report on Appendix 7 are the maps for the properties within the district. Economic and business development, local economic development. Chair, management wishes to submit that the query was as a result of the motel, bar and restaurant not being rehabilitated as planned. On action taken, management wishes to submit that major rehabilitation works were done at the bar and the restaurant of the motel. Only one side of the outer wall of the bar remains to be worked on and to be painted. Provisions have been made in the 2025 budget to complete the remaining part, Chair. On resource mobilization, revenue management, management wishes to submit that the query was as a result of the revenue collection not increasing at the planned percentage. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that the slow movement of plot sales affected the percentage increase in the revenue collection, and the council has intensified advertisements and promotions to attract potential buyers. Recreation, culture and religion, sports promotion on number of games played. Management wishes to submit that the query is as a result of information on the number of games played not being availed at the time of audit. Chair, I wish to correct the word availed to available.
Available.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. On action taken, Management was to submit that the 2020 season ran from September 2023 to May 2024, and then the team fulfilled all the 34 fixtures. Appendix 8 has the evidence. On number of tournaments organized, management wishes to submit that the query was as a result of some of the boxing tournaments not taking off as planned due to insufficient funding. On action taken, management wishes to submit that we went on to increase the funding in the 2024 sports component for boxing. See Appendix 9 on the budget for sports. Number of awards and medals won. Management admit that the query was as a result of awards and medals not won as planned, because the planned boxing tournaments that we've talked about were not played due to insufficient funds. Action taken, management wishes to submit that the funding to this component was increased in the subsequent 2024 funding, and the games were played accordingly. See Appendix 9 on the budget for sports. Chair, for all the targets and outputs that were not delivered, the remedial measure is that we will ensure that we adhere to the set deliverables and targets. Chair, I'm on page 19 on appendices. On the audit opinion, Chair, 2022, the issued opinion was unqualified. The opinion was also unqualified. Action taken? No action taken, Chair. Management response, remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority will ensure that unqualified opinion is maintained in all future audits. Budget funding and expenditure. Action taken on the matter. On the variance, cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the negative variance of 18,844,326 was as a result of observations that are noted in Appendix 10 on the local taxes, fees and charges, levies and permits and equalization and other grants. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that the action taken are what was explained in Appendix 11 on the local taxes, fees and charges, licenses, permits and local government equalization fund and other grants. On remedial measures taken, management wishes to submit that the local authority will adhere to the remedial measures taken in Appendix 12 on local taxes, fees, charges, levies, permits, and local government equalization fund. Chair, this is the same information that we explained in the beginning.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And go to
then we have B, this is another one. Unspent funds, cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the observation on unspent funds was as a result of monies for projects that were still in progress, such as the rehabilitation of dams in Mugoto Ward, which was planned, and also the purchase of 2 utility vehicles, and the December 2023 salaries that were paid in January 2024. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that as at December 2024, these funds were paid to the contractors upon the completion of the works, And also the employee salaries were paid in the first week of January 2024, and the 2 vehicles were since procured. See Appendix 13. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority will ensure that funds due to the council are collected on and that contractors are paid on time upon completion of the projects, and also that procurements are done timely. Appendix 3 on failure to collect revenue. This was on the sale of plots, Chair. Cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the under-collection on fees and charges was as a result of the slow response on the sale of plots from the public, where we anticipated to collect more. On the action taken, Chair, management wishes to submit that the local authority came up with a payment plan on the sale of plots, where the client would pay a down payment of 40% and the balance be settled in 12 monthly installments. In addition to the payment plan, a vigorous marketing of plots was done, which resulted in revenue amounting to 4,354,925,000 kwacha being collected as at 15th January 2025. Additionally, the local authority advertised to corporate organizations such as SCO and NAPSA, currently in discussions with Zambia Sugar, who have declared their intention to purchase 300 plots for their workers from MAZABUKA estates, which will result in more revenue to the local authority once this is finalized. Attached on Appendix 2 and 3 is a copy of the receipts by revenue type, summary, and correspondence to Zambia Sugar. Remedial measure taken. Management will continue to intensify on revenue collection through the updating of the database and use of task force follow-up. On unsupported payments, 33%. Cause of management wishes to submit unsupported payments not being payment budget taken. Management wishes to submit the local authority has attached all the rates for various supplies of goods and batches. See Appendix 14 for your reference. Remedial measures. Management wishes to submit interest cause of the irregular use of interest was as a result of wrong retirement by officers. Action taken on the matter. Management authority accountable. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority has stopped issuing accountable interest to officers to procure goods and services. 9. Accountable interest. Unretired accountable interest. Management response. Because of the query, Chair, management wishes to submit that the observation on unretired accountable interest was as a result of officers not retiring the interest at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that officers were made to retire the unretired interest and recoveries were made for officers with unretired interest. Appendix 16 refers to the details. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority will ensure that the imprest is retired within 48 hours after undertaking an activity, failure to which recoveries will be effected on the officer's payslip. On Appendix 22, failure to maintain council property, houses and the motel. Number of properties, 2. Management wishes to submit that the observation on failures to maintain council properties was as a result of limited resources. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that MAZABUKA motel was being rehabilitated in 3 phases due to the low inflow of resources. Under phase 1, the bar and restaurant works was rehabilitated and works completed and it's operational. Further, we wish to submit that the remaining 2 phases of the staff houses and the fence will be undertaken from the funds that will be realized from the bar and the restaurant. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority will ensure that these planned renovations are budgeted for and implemented according to the phases. Appendix 28, failure to settle statutory and other obligations. 123,709,228. Cause of query. Management wishes to submit the unsettled statutory obligations were as a result of limited resources at the time of audit. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that the laws at 14th January 2025 paid amounts totaling to 53,727,875.67 ingwe as outstanding staff obligations to ZRA, NAPSA, NIMA and LASIF were paid. See Appendix 17. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority is paying on a monthly basis so as to avoid obligation. Appendix 29 on failure to settle staff 7.4 million. Cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the unsettled statutory obligations was as a result of limited resources at the time of audit. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that the local authority was at January 14, 2025 paid staff obligations, I think there should be the word paid there, staff obligations amounting to 1.178,112 to various officers. See Appendix 17. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority is paying on a monthly basis to avoid obligations increasing. On Appendix 36, lack of personal protective equipment. Cause of query. Management wishes to submit that the failure to procure protective personal equipment was a result of limited resources at the time of audit. Action taken on the matter. Management wishes to submit that procurement of protective clothing for fire officers is being done in phases, and so far we have started the procurement of 30 undressed uniforms and 30 black shoes. Further, management has budgeted to procure tunics under the 2025 budget. See Appendix 18 for evidence. Remedial measures taken. Management wishes to submit that the local authority will continue to procure protective clothing for all frontline workers such as the cleaners, council police, grave diggers, among the others, and it's in the 2025 budget. In conclusion, Chair, I wish to assure the committee that the remedial measures that have been submitted to the committee will be implemented and reviewed for further improvement. I am submitting for the committee's deliberation. Thank you very much. This ends my report.
Thank you so much, Town Clerk. I now wish to invite points of clarifications from the honorable members of the committee. Honorable Darius Mulunda.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'll go to the last query. The failure to procure protective clothing. On the action from MAZABUKA Municipal Council is that you have budgeted to procure these in 2025 as per the Appendix 18. And this was, you are appearing under 2023 Auditor General's report. Is it the position or the confirmation from you, Town Clerk, that 2024 our workers would not have or didn't have the protective clothing? I thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Town Clerk, you may respond.
Honorable Member, Chair, the protective clothing for all the frontline workers are being procured in phases. So we procure for firefighters, we procure for street sweepers, we procure for grave diggers, we procure for the council police. So these particular ones that were being queried, I'm happy to say that so far 30 were already procured. And even in the 2025 budget, we continue to procure. It's only that, it's not that they don't have, it's that some of the equipment they've worn out. So the budget is to continue procuring so that they have protective personal equipment. So it's being done in phases, Chair.
Honorable Mulunda.
Thank you, Chair. Would you be kind enough actually to give us the numbers of the workforce of these people that are supposed to be receiving the protective clothing? You have indicated 30 have received. Would you give us the balance?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Director Engineering, firefighters. That's the numbers.
Yes, Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the firefighters are 30. Yeah.
In your response, you have referred to cleaners, council police, grave diggers, among others. The question from Honorable Mulunda. You earlier indicated that you bought 30 for this category of employees. He's asking you, what is the total number of employees that require protective clothing?
Okay, I think I must have misunderstood the question. What he meant, what is the balance from the 30 of the firefighters? So from the firefighters, we don't have any balance now. We have bought for everyone. And the council police and the grave diggers and the cleaners, I do not have the figure of CAF of those that require the uniform now, because I'm aware that even council police, we recently procured for council police new uniforms.
What is the total number of protective equipment that you intend to buy in 2025?
Allow us to refer to the budget. The DF can assist me.
Yes, DF.
Thank you, Chair. As the TC has said, I may not give the exact figure off cuff, but if we are given an opportunity to check through our record, we can give you the actual numbers.
You have the budget yourself?
No, I don't have it here.
Honorable Mulunda.
To another question?
Yes, please.
Okay. On page 22, Town Clerk, we have Appendix 8, irregular use of accountable impressed, 13 officers. Then on page 23, unretired accountable impressed, 13 officers. Are these the same officers, Chairperson?
Town Clerk, you may respond.
First they got irregular and then they are unable to retire.
No, Chair, these are different officers. The ones that did not retire are different from the ones that did irregular impressed.
Follow-up?
Yeah, a follow-up, Chair. Yes, I wanted to that clarity, clarification, rather. Now, when you look at, you have a category of 13 officers, they impressed in an irregular manner, or they are not entitled. And then you look at the 13 officers also, they didn't retire, they impressed. What has been the standard in this local authority? Have we had these issues? Because this was just 2023. Have we had the issues in, maybe according to DF, of these issues in Mazabuka, of irregular impressed and retired impressed? How has that been happening?
Town Clerk, you may respond. Feel free to pass on the question to the DF or indeed any member of your delegation. This is why they are here.
Thank you very much, Chair. So in the past, we have not had this nature of a query, and after it was addressed in 2023, we are hopeful that this will not recur. So irregular impressed, this is a situation where officers request for money to buy items for programs, but instead of, for example, procurement giving an order to a supplier if they are buying from one supplier, they end up buying from one supplier and then it becomes irregular use. We allow them to collect interest if, for example, they are going to buy from different places, like if you are buying foodstuffs from the motel, for example. You have to buy Lumanda at the market, you have to buy. So these different small things, you can get interest because you get your charcoal from somewhere else, your Lumanda from somewhere else. But if you are going to buy everything from ShopRite, for example, then you should just give procurement should just give an order and we pay direct to the supplier. So that is where the problem was for this irregular interest, and we have since educated our officers not to do this. That's my explanation. Impressed.
Honorable Kalobo, addition?
Thank you very much. Town Clerk, you have just said you have now educated your officers. At what point do you educate your officers? Because my belief is that at the time when one is being employed, there is some orientation. That is the education that takes place. Every kind of work. So why should you educate people who are oriented, who have gone to school for that job, especially people in accounts who don't even miss a one way? Why is this tendency of deliberately misapplying one rules, also public funds? Why this tendency? Thank you very much.
Yes, Town Clerk. Additional, additional follow-up?
Just an addition, Chairperson, on the unretired impressed as well. Do we, as well, still waiting, do we need to educate our officers, just like my colleague has put it, to retire the impressed after whatever activity? Do we still need to educate them as well?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you very much. It is regrettable, Chair, that the officers, even after being oriented, went to still commit that anomaly. And with the measure that we took, we are hopeful that they will not do that again. Learning is continuous, Chair, even for people who were oriented. As for these as for the impress requested, it is not only people from accounts who get impress, it's from different departments when they are conducting different activities under their departments. So it is not only accounts people. The error of using impressed irregularly, I think because of the measure we have taken of deducting from their salaries, it has sent a clear message that anybody who in future will do that will face the consequences, and the officers are very much aware now, and we wish to commit that we don't think we are going to see this query, nature of this query again.
Honorable Honorable Dr. Mwanza, you want to?
Very much, yeah.
Okay, can we just exhaust and I'll come back?
Whose duty is it to caution those officers from different departments? Because what I know is there is only one person responsible. They will all go to the DF. So, DF, why don't you caution these officers when you are giving funds that they are supposed to retire? Because it's your duty. And the day you account for the funds. Why don't you caution? Because it's your duty. That is you are employed officers. Is it deliberate or there is connivance after? Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, DF.
Thank you, Chair. As the TC has mentioned, it's the first time we are having this type of query. We initially, when someone is getting the interest, you cannot tell that they'll buy from one source, because ideally they give a list of these things that they want to buy, and they itemize that they want to buy this and that and that. So at the end of the day, we assume to not be found from one source. So when they go and buy and then it comes that they have bought from one source, that's where that irregular issue comes in. But otherwise, we still do sensitize. We are sensitizing and we'll continue doing that.
Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. I may take the committee to page 14 of the report. On page 14, Chair, Mazabuka Town Council rehabilitated 18 kilometers of road out of 60 kilometers. So the query was as a result of the not completed at the time of audit. Only 18 kilometers were done, and the 60 kilometers and the response kilometer feeder roads, the 60 kilometers were rehabilitated as planned. The following breakdown: 18 kilometer feeder roads were budgeted under the local authority to CDF, were achieved, and the 42 kilometers were achieved under improved rural connectivity projects. point of clarification is the 18 kilometers were budgeted under local authority through CDF. This report is about the operational. So the CDF funds cannot be mixed for us to audit this particular road. Why did you put the CDF funding under operational report? 1. 2, we go to Appendix 6. Appendix 6 is showing an inventory of the roads that have been rehabilitated under this program. Out of 60 kilometers, 18 kilometers is rehabilitated by the council through CDF. 42 kilometers is rehabilitated under the improved rural road access program. I wish to know the 18 kilometers that were done under this program in the Appendix 6. Which of these roads were done by the council? Because I know for sure there's that quality issue. So the roads that were funded, that were done under IRCP and the local authority, first I just want to have an audit of the roads, because the people of MAZABUKA are listening, and they would like to know that their road was part of this program. The third question is, when I see a presentation on Appendix 6, the total number of kilometers is 178.27. Why the discrepancy from what is reported in your report as 60 kilometers as planned for in that particular fiscal year under review? Thank you.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you very much. Chair, there is no discrepancy as such. What is being queried was what was targeted. So we had targeted 60 kilometers of road, and in our response we said at the time of audit we only did 80 kilometers of the roads, and that was representing 30%. And the 42% of the kilometers of the roads which were planned under IRCP were done and were completed. So meaning the target of 60 which we had set was achieved. But as to account for what is on Appendix 6, I'll ask my Director Engineering Services to come in.
Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. On Appendix 6, what is shown is the projects under IRCP. We've not attached the projects that were done under the council, the 18 kilometers.
Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Town Clerk, on this deliverable, this information you are providing now in your submission here, why didn't you make this information during time of audit? Why provide it now? When the auditors visited you, why didn't you provide this? And the evidence regarding the same that you have indicated, is it part of the 2023 output-based budget? And if the answer is yes, can we see evidence in your 2023 output-based budget? Thank you.
Yes, Town Clerk, you may respond.
Chair, I'm requesting for the question to be repeated.
I'm saying all this information you have provided, deliverables. Why didn't you make this information available during the time of audit? Why are you providing it now here? because you know you're about to appear here. Then all the evidence regarding the same, is it supported in the output-based budget, your output-based budget for 2023? Is it there? If the answer is yes, if it is there, can we see it? Show us where is the output-based budget for 2023 so that we see.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you very much. I'll ask the Director of Finance to help me respond to this one.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. This item, I think, on the targets, it did not come in the management report. Where we made it to make it. I think it was just made in the final submission to this committee. When we receive the final audit report, that's when we see it come in the preliminary we are giving.
Auditor General, is that true?
Thank you, Chair. The way the audit process is done, it starts with the request for information, it goes to the preliminary information, it goes up to the time reaches a stage where we call it a DAP. So a DAP will have the information that is going to actually appear in the Auditor General's report. So what comes in the Auditor General's report is based on the interactions that we query the client, and also what the controlling officer will assert to. So all these facts that we are being presented, there was a confirmation that we got from the controlling officer, which indicated that what we presented is actually a correct statement. So I have this confirmation indicating that whatever is presented in the Auditor General's report is actually shows a correct fact of what was on the ground. So a query an issue may not even appear in the preliminary query, but as you are still exhausting the, it can still be part of the audit report.
Thank you so much.
So they were aware, fully aware.
Kindly ask a question to the Town Clerk, Honorable Karugo.
Based on the information that the auditor has given, it shows that you are fully aware. Why are you praying to be ignorant or pretending to be ignorant when you know? Are you trying to intentionally mislead this committee?
Chair, with the indulgence of your office, it is not a good practice for our office and Auditor General to start arguing in your presence. We are sworn under Cap 12, and the truth of the matter is that this report on targets came in the final report. Did not interact with this report. It wasn't in the management report. And we brought this to the attention of to the principal auditor. So we didn't interact with this report on targets. It came in the final report. And so we were responding to it as we were preparing to come to PAC.
Who sets the targets and the output?
It is ourselves, Chair.
When the auditors came, while they were checking the OBB, where did they get the results from? The achieved targets from?
Chair, we are not disputing the
Answer my question.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. They are picking this from our budget. Those are the targets that we set in our budget. What we are saying is, I was responding to the honorable question, why are we giving the information now? Why didn't we give then? That is my question, otherwise we are not disputing.
So when a question is asked to you, answer it as it is put to you. The information that came out in the Auditor General's report came from yourselves. We have a written report and we are now interacting. That's why I was calling it points of clarification. So when you are called upon to clarify a matter, earlier we asked you, do you have the budget for 2023 to support your submission? You said we don't have it. And we left it there. Because you don't have an answer to the question by Honorable Kalobo, you want to bring in the office of the Auditor General. Very unfortunate. You're experienced officers and the behavior can't be accepted here. Honorable Monoda.
Yeah, I think the town cleared what I wanted to ask, because I also wanted to ask if they had no interaction with the Auditor General's office, but clearly, like she has indicated, it's not right that they toasting each other here. They didn't. I wanted to find out if they didn't interact, but she has cleared. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Honorable Dr. Mwanza, then Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you, Chair. Town Clerk, through you, Chair. Still, I'm not contented with the answer that I gave on page 14. On page 14, Council, you targeted 60 kilometers. Then, the time the auditors came, you did 18 kilometers of roads under local authority. And then the 42 kilometers is done under IRCP. My question is, why, are 18 kilometers roads, township roads in MAZABUKA, done or not? And you show us the evidence.
Thank you very much. The 18 kilometers, Chair, they were done under CDF funding, and the 62 kilometers, they are the ones on Chinisiwa, that is 26.83. Then on Mukoyo, D677, that is 14.51. And on Magoe, 6.30. If you add those, they are giving us, over 42 kilometers. So then the CDF, because we know we are going to have an appearance over CDF, we still have evidence that those CDF roads have been done.
Sounds like you referred in your action taken report to 18 kilometers being done under CDF. It was only going to be okay that you speak to this part of evidence. If you didn't want to provide evidence, you should have left it out.
Sorry, Chair, the 18 kilometers were already verified by the auditors as done. So we didn't think there is need for us to provide evidence again, because what was being queried was 60 kilometers. So we had 60 kilometers as target, and at the time of audit, they found 18 kilometers were done under CDF. So those ones, the auditors verified. But what the variance was the 42 kilometers, which we are demonstrating in Appendix 6 as roads done under the IRCP. That is our submission, Chair.
Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Before I go to my question, Chair, these people, this habit of deliberately leaving evidence is on the increase. They don't come here with a bus, public transport. They have transport as a local authority. What is so difficult for them to carry even 1 ton of evidence to come and present before this committee? So, caution your grants, Chair. When it comes to CDF, we expect them, if it means to bring the entire council documents here, we'll be waiting for that as long as we have proper evidence before this committee. May I take the committee to page 25?
Just to be sure that we are done with questions on regarding this query, Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Obviously, nothing is, they are getting confused when they are not.
Please go ahead.
Not even a detail.
Page 25 and 26, failure to settle stated obligations and staff obligations on the other page, Chair. On both, they've referred us to Appendix 17 as well, the evidence is cited. Again here, Chair, the manner of numbering the appendices, I think was not good. Because here they are letters, you tell us 17. What is so difficult for you? You say, when you say Appendix 17, being marked as T or A. So it was going to be clear like that. But 17. You see how difficult it is to just to locate an appendix. Chair, here on page 25 on the action taken, they are telling us management wishes to submit that the local authority as at 14th January 2025 paid the amounts totaling to 53,727,875.67 in way. Very huge amount. And another amount on page 26 is 1,178,112.34 way as staff obligations. So now when I look at the evidence on Appendix 17, Chair, this is just, I don't know what you can call these documents submitted here. Don't know if they are registered, they just sit in the office, some to come on the show the committee, and this thing is not even supported by any bank statement. On the other payments, I've seen payment vouchers, I've seen bank statements properly put on the other payment. What was so difficult to do the same year? Is it because you are not you did not pay these funds? Maybe they are also misapplied, or there was an embezzlement somewhere. You have not done what is supposed to be done, because DF, you know what was supposed to be done here. So in short, here there is no evidence, Chair. Why have you decided to have to?
Why have you neglected to give evidence on most of the queries? What is the evidence that you've paid something towards staff obligations and statutory obligations?
It's a receipt.
Where is it? On Appendix 17? Show us the receipt.
Chair, we regret to say that we did not attach the receipt. We thought that we can present it through the creditor's ledger to show how the money is being, how the money was coming in, what was paid, and what the balances are. Otherwise, we can still provide
Director of Finance, is that how you provide evidence to this committee?
Thank you, Chair. As the TC said, we will do better next time. But the idea was to show all the ledger on the creditor's ledger, how much we have paid and how much is billing per particular quarter and what the balance is remaining. When the auditors come for verification, then we give them the actual vouchers when they are verifying. As the MP has guided, next time, Chair will get all the evidence that is required.
Honorable Mulunda.
Chair, in the interest of time, if you're given time, the DF is able to submit the attachments, maybe within a day to Secretariat to just consolidate, you know, what he has submitted, because at the end of the day we need to generate a report. Is he able to do that so that we get a comfort from him?
Before we get there, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. Number of regrets in the responses now, they are about 4. For me, I'm meant to conclude that because you cannot submissions say we regret to have done ABCD, we regret to have done ABCD. DF can measure like what you have put on appendix in accounts, standards evidence in this myself, if I was in your position, would you accept I come with this type of as evidence? Any huge payments like this is about 55 million. Watch, very huge amount. You just sit in your office and type a ledger that you are going to appear before local government accounts. Sure. Does this amount to evidence?
Yes, Town Clerk. Thank you very much, Chair. I'm not going to use the Honorable, but it does, and he has a point, and the question us, we are able to provide the evidence which is being required if we are given a day to Secretariat. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. TC, in an event that you had provided the evidence and so on, going back to the statutory obligations and the others, when in your projection, when did you think you are going to finish settling this statutory and the staff obligations?
Yes, Town Clerk. Thank you very much. Chair, over 100 most of the amount from coming, and we have payment that are in religiously observing. Same applies for the staff contributions. Chair, it is the funds that we bring in to local taxes and also what we receive from the local government equalization fund does not suffice to make a huge deduction from this debt, but we are slowly but steadily reducing it with what we receive. That is why you will see, Chair, that we have made a lot of vigorous attempts to get into commercial ventures, see how we can enhance the improvement of the lodge, the bar, the motel, bar and restaurant, as well as the sale of plots. Chair, we procured 600 hectare farm of land as a council, which we subdivided, and which land we have been letting off. This, I'm confident to assure your committee that as money comes in through these corporate partners that are procuring this land, we are definitely going to attend to a huge chunk from this debt, and then we continue paying off as we can. What councils need, Chair, actually, for these huge debts from NAPSA, I think is an intervention from government, because these are old debts which every principal officer will come in, will find it and will pick up from the other one and continue paying. So I cannot give a date when I will finish paying this, but I can commit that I will continue to be vigorous and bring in more funds, and as we get more funds, we increase on what we are reducing, because these are people's monies and secure their benefits, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. We go to page 20.
Page 20.
Yes. Page 20. There is unspent funds. This is under budget, funding and expenditure. The unspent funds of 6,485,114. So the explanation is that these funds were as a result of monies for projects that were still in progress, such as the rehabilitation of dams in Mugoto Ward, the planned purchase of 2 utility vehicles, and the December 2023 salaries for January 2024. Refer this to Appendix 13. So the accountability of the 6,840,800 yes, so we may refer to page 13, Appendix 13. In Appendix 13, I've been struggling to find the summary ledger, because when you are asked a question to say when there's unspent money to that magnitude, you need to account for it to say this is how this money was spent. So where is the ledger of expenses?
Yes,
So for this particular one, we only submitted the bank statements and the payment vouchers. Maybe I can explain. So on the first page, 13A, if you look at line 1, 2, and 3, it is showing January 2nd, 2024 and January 2nd, 2024. Those are the funds that were meant for the salaries. So, Chair, why the funds were found to be unspent at the time of audit was that there was a salary that just came in 2 days before the New Year's, the grant. And then for the dams, they were found to be unspent again at the time of audit, because the time of awarding the contracts, the dams were still muddy and the contractors could not start doing the work, meaning they could not claim anything on the dams money. And then the vehicles also, they were still undergoing procurement at the time of audit. So it was just in the following January that all these funds were spent.
Honorable Dr. Inzo, follow up.
Yes. So, Town Clerk, just as you have seen yourself, you're struggling to allocate the 6.85 million, because we want to have, at least we have a general ledger to say this much was spent on salaries, and then you present the evidence as you have presented here. And this much was for 2 vehicles, 2 utility vehicles, and you provide the evidence. And the dams, because I'm trying to add the numbers, I find that it's very difficult, because, okay, fine. Now on rehabilitation of dams, I've checked through the IPCs that there are 3 dams that were funded under these unspent funds. The Mafuele Dam, Chakola Dam, and the Chikomba Dam, all in Mugoto Ward. Looking at the financials, I've seen that there are dams like had their contract price revised, and when I look at the little details that are provided here, all these dams are completed. Where are the completion certificates? for these dams, and the final settlement values in terms of cost, so that at least from all this information that you've provided, I'm able to account for that 6.8 million kwacha. Where are the handover certificates? If not, is the project still ongoing or not? And what is the status of operation of these three dams? It's a very good project to have water conservation projects, and how are they performing? Thank you.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you very much. I'll just respond a bit and hand over to Director Engineering. So these dams were funded by the ministry, and they were all done in one ward, and they were all completed, but there is an aspect of the retention, because I think after the dams then there was the drought, and so to test the for some rain, and so rained, and these dams are doing very well. They're holding a lot of water, more water than they've ever held. So this is when now the contractors should be able to come and claim their retention and be able to be given their completion certificates.
Yes, additional information.
Then the engineer will give additional information.
Engineer.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, after completion, they are given a substantial completion certificate, and like the town clerk mentioned, the dams are operational, they've been completed, and are performing very well. Thank you, Chair.
Where is that information that you are referring to, Director Engineering?
Thank you, Chair. I wish to confirm that the completion certificates were not attached.
Why?
Like I was saying, that the contractors are yet to claim their retention allowances, because we were waiting to see the dams fully functional as the rains came through.
Your Director Engineering is saying you have issued the substantial completion certificates. My question is, why are they not attached in this report as evidence?
Engineer, you can respond.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to take note that instead of just attaching the IPCs as we've done and the other evidence, would have actually attached the other documents as well. So I wish also to just take note and make sure that as we attach all the evidence, we try the means to attach other documents.
Honorable Mulunda.
Just a question to Engineer. Engineer, there are two things. The dams are fully functional and you are very happy about it. Secondly, Engineer, you have the completion certificates in your office. Is that the position? And you did not just attach them. Is that the position?
Yes, Engineer.
Thank you, Chair. Like I mentioned earlier, to say yes, the substantial completion certificates are there, but unfortunately we just attached some of the evidence which are IPCs as shown in the appendices. However, the others were not attached, and I wish to take note. Yes, sir. I wish to
this
confirm.
Information in the
Yes, sir. It's there.
Of the 6.4 million, how much was spent and how much is being retained?
I'll ask the DF to respond to that.
Yes, DF.
Thank you, Chair. As explained, so the 6.8 million is not only for the dams, it is also, there is a part which was for the salaries, and that was spent. Then there was also a part which was for the vehicles, it's about 2 point something, and then the other part that was for the dams. Maybe as you, if you wish, Chair.
How much of these unspent funds of 6.4, 6,485,114 kwacha was spent, and how much is being retained?
So Chair, what is being retained for now is just the retention part of the dams. Otherwise, the other, like for the salaries part, we spent the whole amount. For the vehicles, we spent the whole budget. So what is remaining just the retention component of the dams, which I can give the figures later, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Mang. Thank you, Chair. I heard the TC saying that the dams were funded through the ministry, and it means that the accountability of this 6,485,114 is including the grant from the ministry to be part of the expenditure on these dams. When I look at the total cost of these dams, it's above 2 million. And if we go to page 2 of your presentation, the grants that you received was only 600,000 kwacha. I guess funding from the ministry should have come maybe through grants, other grants, because local equalization funding, local government equalization fund has got its own expenditure guidelines. So for these dams, you only received, on page 2, you only received 600,000 kwacha. And when I add the total value of these projects, more than 2 million. How do you explain that?
Yes, Town Clerk.
Chair, I would like to ask the DF to help us respond on this one.
Yes, DF.
Thank you, Chair. The funding for the dams was received in 2022. So the 2023 was just a brought forward figure that we are spending on. So the actual accountability of the grant receipt was done in 2022. So this one, they're showing the 600, is not even a part of the grant money for this. This one is grant in lieu of rates. So the actual receipt grant for the dams was 2022. Then we didn't spend the whole amount in 2022, so it was brought forward.
Yes, Dr. Manzo.
We received the money in 2022. It was brought forward to 2023. And 2023 obviously has a dry spell season to award the contracts for the dam, because you already had money sitting in your account by January 2023. You only awarded dam projects in 2024. Because you are explaining that the unspent funds were due to the ongoing works. Why the delay in the procurement when we had already the funds sitting in 2022?
I'll ask the Director Engineering to help in responding to the delay in procuring the works.
Yes, Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to draw us to appendix, it is appendix number 13. Appendix number 13. Yeah, appendix number 13. We have attached there, which are interim payment certificates. I think that comes after the receipts and bank statements. So, Chair, I think it looks like this. So So, Chair, if you check there on top, it's actually saying the certification period is from January 9, 2023 to August 2020. What it means is that the funds were received towards the end of the year, and the procurement was done. However, the works had not yet completed because of the few rains that we received. And furthermore, some of the dams have been able to contain some water, and there's a request from the communities that we do not disturb that water so that they can use that water for their animals especially. So the procurement was done earlier in the beginning of the year, and that's how we commenced with the implementation of the works.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Manza.
Well, just a final one. Yes, I've looked at your IPC. Just an example, IPC for Crizet Enterprise Limited. The contract start date was 9th January 2023. In fact, it seems you awarded all these contracts at the same time for the 3 dams. And the duration was 10 weeks. Contract period is 10 weeks, which is basically 2 months. By April 9, 2023, the project would have been completed. And you only started paying the contractors in 2024 because the auditors found that spent money is 6.8 million. How do you explain this IPC for this contract period between January to April and the whole year up to the time the auditors, when we were even audited anyway?
When were you audited, town clerk?
Should be July, I think.
Yes, you are audited in July. Here, all the 3 dams, the contracts that were assigned, their completion was over. All the contracts were issued, were signed on 9th January 2023. At the time, this project was ward. It is Mafere Dam, which is in the Mugoto ward. 9th January 2023, 10 weeks construction period, and was even given a certificate here. So 10 weeks, his contract was expiring on 9th April 2020. Auditors audited all the dam projects completed. You still have that in hands.
Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. I'll bring us back to the same IPC. Just down there is where the signatures for the civil engineer, contractor's representative, as well as my office and the provincial engineer's office. If you check the date, it's actually stating 25th July 2023. And this was interim payment certificate number 1 after having paid advance payment already. So like I mentioned, Chair, some of the delays completing the projects of but we had to push the commencement date, revised it due to the water that was contained and the request from communities that they use that water. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Before we release you and make one conclusion, can we go to page 22? Unsupported payments. During the period under review, you had unsupported payments of 335,929 kwacha. My question is, why did we not avail the documentation for audit and have only presented it now? addition, Honorable Mulunda?
Just an addition. Was this payment, were these payments anyway, 33 of them, transactions, were they done on the same day or were not done on the same day?
So these are different payments for various items, mainly for our motel bar and restaurant. So Chair, this is something that we have brought out very strongly, the workers who are managing in terms of availing the evidence to the editors when they come. Hopeful that this will not happen again. We are assuring you, because we have taken very stern measures with the officers that this should not happen again. This is the motel where they buy various liquor, foods and so on for the restaurant. So it's like at the time of audit, they did not really put their documents in order, and they were only able to base it later and be able to compile. So right now, all these the payments are fully supported. Chair, that's not
After editors have gone.
We are working with them on proper filing, on managing these documents properly, and it's very key in that. It's to sign everything. Confident that such kind of audits will not recur.
What do the conditions if someone hasn't acquitted payments?
Chair, we are supposed to
why have they?
Some have been verbally warned.
You want us to take that here?
No, Chair. But that is what has happened.
No. That submission can be accepted.
Chair, I do not have any written
I'm asking you to withdraw that you have.
I withdraw that one, Chair.
Honorable Kalobo, you have a question.
Thank you, Chair. Before I go to my question, Chair, your question was why provide the information now? The response I've heard is sorry, this will not happen again. I don't know if it is the right answer or it's a direct way of running away from the question, the answer only. On page 22, some action taken. TS and their team, they've told the management committee has since attached all receipts for various suppliers of goods and services to respect payment vouchers, and they've referred us to appendix 14 as where the evidence is. So in the statement on the action taken report, can we underline all the services? That's my concern. The total amount here in question is 335,929 kwacha. When you the evidence in appendix 14 is only 91,653,077 in way. And here you are telling the committee that all the lips have been attached. We have added, it's only 91,000 kwacha. Where is the difference? Where is this money taken? Where have you taken this money? Can you bring evidence, show evidence to this committee to account for the difference? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Town Clerk?
Chair, if we are given time, we can gather all the receipts that are giving us the 300 and even by tomorrow.
At the end, I'll ask you to excuse us, Town Clerk. We'll call you soon. Just be outside.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.